thing going to work. Keeping the house all clean. Actually, I think I got the whole house mapped. This one's actually smart. We had another one where I actually had to put a box in front of my door. I just kept hitting it. So is it gonna spin around? Come on, spin around for me. There you go. It's fun when it does that. I know it's dark. No, it's not. What is up, everybody? Rage here. Back at it again with another video on the MechaBlazer's. I think it's been a while since I updated you guys on this thing. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I know. I really haven't done many videos on here because I just been focusing on getting this thing done to where I just haven't been picking up the camera. As a matter of fact, I actually have some videos filmed already, ready to be edited. Just haven't gotten to it yet. So hopefully I'm gonna get to this one. If not, you guys may see this at the end. I'm gonna try to get this one. I'm gonna try to get to this one as soon as possible. But anyway, anyone remember this? My old bike. I miss it. I named it the Hilux, like Toyota's toughest truck out there. But anyway. So, I thought I'd give you guys a little update on what's been going on with it. I've been doing quite some work to this thing, and let me show you guys. So, right now, I had to take down the spare tire because I am doing the rear diff fluid, and I actually didn't know the rear diff had a drain plug for it, so it made my job way freaking easier. And just letting you guys know, this is not even all the rust. This ain't even all of it. This is just a portion of it. There's still a lot of rust left on there. I had to get out because I was doing a lot. So anyway, a little advice for anyone looking for a Trailblazer like this here. Go to the back and just look for these. You always want to check those because those break off like crazy, especially if you're in the Midwest or in an area where there's a lot of snow and salt and rain. And you just always want to go back here and check these before you buy it because you will buy one. I think this one's, I don't know. I thought it was actually starting to snap, but it's probably just a layer. So yeah, these are, if you don't know what these are just the rear control arms. As you can see, I had mine brushed and I painted over it. Eventually I got to get to these soon. Maybe I'll probably do that before I go on my big trip in August. Again, you know, the yearly trip where I go all the way out like 900 miles and back for the Sonic Expo. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully it's not like last year where I had to replace this glass. I'm not getting into that though, but yeah. So in here in the engine bay, still got the excess power battery still running on the stock alt, which actually I might have to change out soon because it's been kind of acting a little quirky lately. It's just idling around 13.8 volts. So it's been doing that for a while, but now that it's getting warmer, it's starting to be a little bit more known. So I'm pretty sure it is starting to go out or something like that. So anyway, the other day, let me show you guys. For like the last year or two, I've been dealing with issues with the check engine light on here, and I thought it was the O2 sensors. I replaced the O2 sensor. I broke the downstream one, not in this pipe, but I broke the downstream one, so I ended up having to replace the whole catalytic converter with this stupid cheap one. And if you guys don't know, like, this is actually I think this is like, what, 2-inch thick? It's supposed to be 3 inches thick. So this entire time, I've been choking my engine. And it literally took this not only having so much back pressure that... This thing had so much back pressure that this is the gasket it had. It cracked the ceramic. It literally blew a hole through it. And it had an exhaust leak, which I didn't find until I did the sway bar links, which is freaking crazy because I didn't even touch it. It just cracked. So I went ahead and got now this isn't the one I wanted to get. I wanted to get the MagnaFlow, but sometimes, you know, budgets will set you back. So I got this Walker catalytic converter, and it looks like it's actually doing a pretty good job. And I will say, the performance on here now is noticeably better. It's not like by a crazy, like, you know, like, oh, I can do 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. No, it's not like that. But whenever I hit the gas in here, especially in the highway, it'll go from 60 and it'll take a really long time to climb up to 70. And sometimes I'll have to downshift just to, you know, make up for that. It doesn't do that as much anymore. And matter of fact, you hit it, it'll go up a lot faster now. So it definitely got more horsepower back. And I can't believe I've been choking it with this pipe. So anyway, running why I changed it was because before this thing actually was having a performance problem. It was having O2 sensor issues. And I've been wanting to fix that. And the entire time I thought, you know, maybe it was the cat getting clogged. So I went ahead and swapped it out. It kind of did the same thing. And However, instead of the downstream O2 sensor showing a code, it was the upstream one, and it was showing a P0420. So I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting there. But the P0420 said it was something with the catalytic converter, which was that stupid thing right. Oh my God, that zoom. I'm on a 15 Pro Max right now. So yeah, so I'm like, wait a minute, but I replaced the catalytic converter. I just kept doubting myself, doubting, and I'm like, you know what, it was kind of a cheap one and maybe throwing the code, but it was just driving horribly. The fuel trims are all over the place. It was freaking awful. So now I got the new catalytic converter on, and I'm still getting a code for the top O2 sensor. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, there's a possibility that this is an 04 Trailblazer, but it has the 03 and 02 harness. Now, the reason why it has this harness is because this engine is from a 2002 GMC Envoy, not the Envoy XL. This is just a short body GMC Envoy. So yeah, this is a short body drivetrain on a long body EXT Trailblazer, but it works. It works perfectly fine. Now, my theory originally is that, you know, one, this harness, obviously, it looks bad. It's taped up because I actually tried swapping a wire on it, and it just ended up making it really lean, so it didn't do that. So, my theory is that this O2 sensor is actually the incorrect sensor for this car, because the 04 and up have more of a triangular one, and the 03 and below have this square one. So, I'm thinking that there's a possibility that there's a difference between the ohmage of one another. I'm gonna have to go to the junkyard tomorrow and see if I could probably get a couple of them, or see if maybe I could like swap a wire on this one, because maybe the wiring pinout is different. And I think when it does activate the heat sensor, the car wants to stall out, and it did stall out on me once today. It does kind of stall out when you hit the gas. It's kind of strange, but it only does it when the sensor's plugged in. So somebody called us out on Facebook. I forgot the name, but I gotta give you a shout out for waking me up, because I was dead asleep trying to figure out what was going on when it was in front of me the whole time. The code is a P0135, which is the heater core of the O2 sensor that's not working properly, which means the O2 sensor is working fine. Guys, I be over my head sometimes. It's crazy. It's I don't know what has been up with it. It's just like, I rebuilt the transmission in here. It's been driving great. It kind of has some harsh shifting a little bit, but it goes. It just goes. I think I've put like 30, or I think I put a little over 30,000 miles on this transmission so far. No, not that. No, I think it was way more than that. Maybe it was. I don't remember. Right now it has 272,000 miles on it, but it does have a different engine in it, so it's not actually 272,000 miles. But the entire car has been through that many, so. Hey, let me mute this real quick. Right now I got the heat on. How ridiculous. Came on, no problem. This is like the only channel that I know will do like weird shit, but they don't do like crazy super sponsors like whatever, or any clickbait stuff like that. They just they do it. They do it. I like their stuff, so you gotta give them a shout out. I always forget the names. I watch them a lot. So right now you may notice I have the battery unplugged. Yes, I do, because I am going to replace the rear differential fluid right now. I actually did have it explode on me back in 2023, so I don't want to do that again. And usually you're supposed to replace it like every 30 to 60,000 miles. I'm like, you know what? While I'm here, let me go and replace it, because I have this problem as well with it. So here I am underneath the car. Now this is where the gas tank is. I do have to replace the fuel pump at some point. I don't know if I'll be able to squeeze a road trip out of it, or at least one more. Oh, here you go. This is the drive shaft. Now, I do got to replace these U-joints, which is these little things in the middle. Got to replace those along on the back as well. And up here's, of course, oh, got to replace this. Now, this is the one thing that's been concerning me, and I do notice this whenever I'm putting in from drive to reverse and then drive and reverse. I notice it does this. Oh, it's not gonna do it now, is it? But yes, I do notice that when I'm driving, it has like a clunk going on whenever it shifts, or if it like hits the gas. It's a noticeable clunk. And I don't know if it's because of the drive shaft or if it's because of something internal in the transmission, or more than likely the transfer case. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely something I would like to address. A lot of people are saying it's normal, so I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna have to live with it. But if I can, you know, at least help it, replace the U-joints, add some grease into the splines and in the yoke or whatever it is, I'll do that, no problem. One less thing to worry about. Crazy, I do so much work to this car, and people are like, Rage, why don't you just get a new car? You're putting so much time and effort into this. Guys, one, I love these Chevys way too much. Two, I always wanted to have a project car, just be something working out. Because, guys, I went to work on that through the snow. So this thing's the love of my life right here. I love this thing to and back. I put it through a lot. It's been through a lot. It's been with me for quite some time. I graduated high school in this car. Yeah, it was. You see where that 118 is all the way back there? I used to sit there all the time on road trips. There's so many reasons why I just rather not get a new car, and I just rather keep putting work into this one. Is because one, it still runs really strong. Two, the newer cars, they just suck. They're so boring now. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. The Chevy Tahoes, like the new ones, I do like. I would drive one of those if the engines were a lot more reliable, because I hear stories where people would drive off the lot and 18 miles later, their engine is blown. True stories, by the way. Their engines will die like that. This Vortec 4200, I think it's actually gone way over its oil changes before I got it. Still going strong. And you know what? You can get another one of these from the junkyard for $350. It's really easy to swap in and out. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm lucky to drop the transmission in this garage. I'm not even going to start with the engine. Let's wait until we move. Please last until we move. That's all I ask. Just got back in. I actually forgot to mention this as well, too. Unless I didn't, I just don't remember. But another thing about it is I never really wanted to take it to a shop because I felt like it was just going to be something so bone freaking simple. Like the other day I watched a video from Car Wizard where this Buick, was a Buick Sabre, LaCrosse, whatever it is. It came in, it was leaking coolant. They didn't know why. The dude ended up replacing the part twice, which is the intake, where the coolant flows through. Spoiler alert, I guess I should say before telling you guys about it. And the problem wasn't the way it was put together. It was the part that came in. It was a little bit like raised, it's a little sharp to where none of the gaskets are actually going to, lay flat with it. So it's just leaking through. Something that small. The dude drove 7.5 hours for that, if I remember correctly. And he put so much time and money into it to try and solve a problem when it really wasn't a problem. It was just a problem with the part that he ordered. So, yeah, something that freaking tiny will cause a big headache. And that's why I never just wanted to take it, because I feel like, oh, it's going to be this. And I'm like, oh, that could have been solved like I just solved it. So, that's why I never wanted to take it to a shop. I did want to get it in there to get like an inspection for something that I may not see, like, something with the suspension, something with a ball joint somewhere, which I do have to do the ball joints on at some point. I'll probably do it by the end of this month before when I do my brakes. So yeah, but that's why I never wanted to take it to the shop, because they're going to charge like $400, $500, $600 for something that I literally just did right now for what, like $20? But yeah. Let's close this up before some rats come. Oh my god, the whole freaking garage door just started jumping. Let's close that up before the rats come in. I have one named Sprint that runs around like crazy, so name it after a buddy of mine. But anyway, don't feel like having to chase them around here. Speaking of dropping transmissions, that's actually another reason why I don't want to let this car go, is because it's just so freaking easy to work on. I mean, yeah, there's some things that, you'll question, GM's engineering about, like, where for one, I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. There's the thermostat. It's not easy to get to. You gotta remove the whole alternator off, or you gotta take this whole tire off and use some very long ratchet extension bars to reach into there. I think the first thing I've really gotten into, I think the first time I've ever gotten deep into it was removing the radiator and replacing it. That was the first thing I did. And I ended up hitting that ditch, ended up mixing the transmission coolant with the fluid, which I actually believe it or not, what is, you know what, I need speech therapy again. I got a new transmission cooler installed. This is the 40K Mishimoto. I spent the extra $1 not to cheap out on this, and I got a really good known brand, and also it has new transmission lines, which means yes, the old ones are out. There's the old cooler right there. I don't know if you noticed, but on the front you can see all this right here. Yeah, the transmission cooler line blew off on my way to Atlanta last year. it was a fun time there, but to and from it was a nightmare. Just got a call from mom right now. They're on their way to somewhere, and the car said there was oil pressure was low. I'm like, you better check the oil quick. So anyway, what I was talking about, so this is the original cooler that I had on here. This is the one that actually I had to limp with, because the stock one on here, the transmission, I don't know what it is with it, it just overheats. I don't know why, it just overheats. It doesn't slip, it doesn't like shift horribly. It works fine, it just gets hot. I don't know why. So this thing, I had to limp with this cooler back home, and I had it rigged up like this since August of 2025, and it's been like that ever since. And yes, it was leaking a little bit here and there, but I had to splice it. I got it on, got it home, and I just forgot about it, and I just been driving it like that since I think February this year. And I finally retired it, got the actual cooler in there. So got new lines, as you can see. They're brand new lines. I cut the old ones out, got the new ones in. There's absolutely no leaks, and it's getting coolant directly on its own, which means I can actually tow with this car now if I wanted to. So I ain't got to worry about it. I think the most I've seen it get was at 180 degrees, which is normal temperature, but usually now it averages around 140 to 150, no problem. So you know what, I mean, it may not be full operating temperature, but for it randomly overheating for some odd reason, and it's not the torque converter, because it did it with the old one and I replaced it, and it's still doing it. So I don't know what it is. I even did the PWM delete. I even undid the PWM delete, and it just overheats. I don't know why. Maybe there's something with one of the accumulators. I don't know. All I know is it still drives. It's still good. And worst case scenario, I'll just go pull one out of the junkyard and throw it in here and figure something out. Maybe I'll rebuild it. Who knows? But yep, it's on its own standalone cooler. It's no longer, you know, with this one here. So if worst case scenario happens, it's not going to mix with the coolant, and I got to do a whole flood. That was gross. I think this one will be better. You got any other paint? Black. All right, it's not exactly what I want, but better than nothing. I also forgot to mention, I actually had to do the water pump on here as well, because it was causing this whole fan assembly to rattle like crazy. I thought the engine actually started knocking, but luckily it was just a water pump that failed, which I wasn't surprised, because yes, it was a cheap one, and now I have an AC Delco one in here, and it's running perfectly fine. And also on top of that as well too, it was actually drinking the coolant as well from there. It was leaking from the water pump, and yep, still pretty full. Actually, it looks slightly low, but that's actually pretty normal, because it does have like a little drain plug on the side in case it does get overfilled. So yeah, it's slightly below the full line, but if I got some in there if I need more, no big deal. Other than the rear differential fluid, another thing that definitely needs attention that I'm really dreading is this. This is the brake fluid. This is the master cylinder. Now I can easily suck it out. Actually, you know what? I might do that right now. I'll just suck it out right now and put some new one. I have a bottle of .3. This is .3. Yeah, .3 brake fluid. I do have some, so I'll go over and swap this fluid out. But the one thing I want to do is I actually want to go and fix up the brake calipers here, because I actually got to do all the brakes on here. The brakes and the rotors. The pads on the front are getting low, and the rotors are needing to be replaced. The back ones, the pads are brand new. Still new, but the rotors are almost gone. And also the e-brake or the handbrake never worked in here because the shoe is just completely gone. I mean, it's in there. It's just, it's a thin sheet of metal at this point. So this is the old tire that was on here. Yes, I still have this, believe it or not. This is the spare tire that's been installed on here because one of the rims busted. And I went to the junkyard, got it replaced, kept this one around for a spare. And you guys know I don't mess around with these. If one of my tires go flat and I need a spare, especially on a road trip, these are very critical. Trust me, guys, these are very, very critical. I've never, knock on metal, but you never know. So just be prepared whenever. Yes, I have two 18s in the back, but I still got all my tools there in case worst case scenario happens. I don't mess around with this. When my car got broken into, I made the worst mistake not putting my tools underneath the subwoofer port in the back, because my car did get broken into and they stole all my tools, including my impact, which this is the replacement one that I bought. But yeah, shout out to my uncle for giving me the tools that are over there. But yeah, all of them tools are gone, unfortunately. So yeah, but I do have an alarm system on here. That's another project. I'm not going to bore you guys with that one because even I don't know where that's going. I got the remote start to work, but it's not turning over. So I think I have to like use some kind of relay on it, which actually is supposed to be a relay you're supposed to have with it. And it's supposed to trigger something. I don't know. Maybe it's not getting enough power to trigger it. It's getting 12 volts to like the starter. So I don't know. If anyone has any suggestions, let me know. You guys probably have to see it and figure out what's going on. But I mean, if you got any suggestions to throw in the dark there, let me know. I'll see what I can do. Especially the wiring. If anyone has wiring diagrams for all the locks on here and all of that, please let me know. Let me know. I'm probably not going to get a response, but let me know if you guys do. Oh man, here I am back at it again, getting ahead of myself. As usual. Oh my god, I don't even know what this is right here. So, I thought there was a drain plug. There's no drain plug. And also, I need to get the gasket. Turns out there actually is a gasket underneath it. I don't know if you guys can see it. So, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to wait off on this for a while, probably till next week. I'm just going to order a brand new cover with a gasket, just so that way, because this one's starting to get all rusted as well, too. So, I could wait on this a little bit longer. No big deal. There's still more life left in here. I mean, I don't even know when the last time the old one was changed. So, I mean, you guys seen how long that lasted. So, we're just going to spray paint all underneath here and go on out about a day. And I probably shouldn't get that rest of my tools. But I could probably reuse that gasket. Definitely not recommended. Oh, yeah, look at all that. This is just with my finger, by the way. Oh. Yeah, so surprised. I mean, we could probably hit it with a hammer and just start shaking a bunch of it off. But I need to get like a metal brush. I have one somewhere. I just don't know what happened to it. Probably gotta look for it somewhere. Hey, let's look up here. Let's see. Can we find the fuel pump? Is it the fuel pump? Oh, it's probably way in there. If you guys see it, let me know. I just dropped a bunch of rust on me and it's all in my fingers now. Lovely. Also, this here's loose. I don't know why that's loose. Oh, maybe because it's broken off. Oh wait, actually, no, it's not even broken off. It's just not adhered down. Oh my god, there's a lot of rust up here. All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna clear off all this rust. I'm gonna spray paint back here. We're gonna talk about the O2 sensor problem after this. So I'll see you guys in like 2 seconds. All right, well, I guess I might as well show you guys the after, but. It's not the best, but it ain't the worst. It's definitely a lot better than seeing orange. Even did the spare tire as well, too. I literally had just enough spray paint to do the both front and back of it. Even did the little thing here. If you're wondering how I actually get it in is I don't know. These bars came with the car when I got it. I don't know what these were originally for, but I just grabbed one of these and it helps with getting the tire in. I have a bunch of other sticks in here as well too. There's like my little emergency pack. You have a tow hitch as well too. You can see some of the sound deadener in there. But yep, just this, and I just start raising the tire up. So yeah, pretty straightforward. I'll tell you guys, I don't mess around with this stuff. All right, so now that we're back here, we're gonna take a look at the O2 sensor. Now, save you guys time. The two on the right are what the heater core is. And I already tested it. It's 9 ohms, so it's definitely getting something. I don't know if the ohmage on it's too low or too high, but then I also looked at the sensor, the connector here, Looks a little frayed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can tap into the actual like sensor here on the O2, and I'm gonna test each wire on it with my multimeter and see what happens. So let's find out. Who remembers this from when we had to figure out why the car kept going in the limp mode when it turns out it's the fan the whole time. So anyway, just to confirm with you guys, these two on the right here, one, I forgot which one's ground, but show you guys here, watch this. It's gonna be a loud beep. Hold on. Let's see if I can, D, which is below. You have 9, which means that the sensor is actually perfectly fine, even though it's a little dented, but that's okay. So when we plug this in, we gotta figure out, I do see a wire that's kind of frayed, but I think that's when I was trying to test it out that one time, but we'll find out. Yeah. So there's a fuse that actually goes to these sensors. Now, I don't know if it's connected directly to it, but I'm gonna try and see if I can probe it. All right, so I went ahead and probed with it a little bit here. I actually found out that even though this fuse goes in, I realized that like wiggling it around, like it kind of was intermittent, and now it's like, it's kind of like I can pull it out kind of easily now. Kind of strange. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna run it without the fuse. See, I tried putting something in there to patch it, but oh, actually it anchored it really, really well. Funny. So I'm gonna, the fuse looks like it's pretty good, so I don't think we need to change it. I might swap it out for another one here. Let's see which one is which. What's 24? Oh, that one we need. What about the one below? PCM1, the one below backup one. How about these two over here? 30. AC. The AC don't even work in here. So, how about I just grab this? Weird. Looks like it doesn't actually go in right. Oh. It's crunchy, but yeah, it just like drops in there now. Strange. Actually, I'm gonna leave it unplugged and I'm gonna see what happens. All right, so I went ahead and got it checked out here. Looks like it has got the codes for all of them, so it seems like the fuse was working fine. For some reason, it's kind of loose, so that's maybe why it's cutting in and out. So I'm thinking now the only option it could be is the communication from the sensor to the ECU. That's all I can think of now, other than the harness. I mean, the harness the harness looks fine. It's outputting fine. It just, I don't know what's going on with it. But we're gonna grab the multimeter. I'm gonna do some testing real quick and go from there. Stopped at Burger King and, well, still got it. All right, so here we are at the junkyard. This is, I think, a 2002 or 2003 GMC Envoy. The only reason why I'm able to know is because it has that same O2 sensor connector that the 04 Trailblazer does not have, but mine does. I'm trying to figure out what year this is. Yeah, 2002 GMC Envoy. So, oh man, look at that interior. It's all nice. What radio we got in there? Here we go. We got a Bose radio. Awesome. They had the seats to the Envoy they pulled it from, but I guess they ended up not doing the seat swap. And this is a, let's see, I think you probably figure out, a 2003 Trailblazer. Let's see if it has that same connector. It should have the same connector. It does. All right. Oh, there's another Blazer right there. It was actually a really nice red Trailblazer. Not like this body, but like the old style S10 body one. It was pretty nice, but unfortunately it was junked. This is a 2006. Now, of course, this is obviously going to be different. Oh, the hoods. Who closed the hoods? Actually, it's not a bad one. Not a bad one compared to that. Wonder why. Sometimes you gotta wonder why these are junked. Okay. I'm holding a bunch of tools, so that's why it's hard for me to do it. Let's see. Hopefully this is a better one. This is a 2002. Oh, geez. Okay, no doubt this is a newer one because that's the Chevy logo on the back. Oh yeah, this is a way newer one. That's a newer logo too. I thought, when I first saw this, I thought somebody just grabbed it from the newer Blazer, but oh, this is 2004. It's 2004? This don't look like 2004. Looks like a 2006, but has that different connector. So there's a very high chance that that connector is why it is throwing a heater code, because it is not the right one. Now this is a bit unrelated because I actually found this out last night. Let me show you guys something real quick. So this is probably gonna be something I'm gonna fix on the side, but we're gonna look at the transmission here. I think it's on the other side. Shout out to whoever put this vent here. However, if you look, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the neutral safety switch right there is actually a different connector as well. The reason why I'm pointing that out is, I'll show you guys hopefully if I don't forget. If you're in park, oh, just had an alarm system in. Oh, I need these. Oh. Oh my god, I actually need to get 3 of these. Oh man. Hope these ain't too much. Man, what are the odds I just end up finding them? I'm not even trying. My buddy Shredder's gonna laugh his ass off about this because we actually went to like 3 junkyards trying to find these, and I just find them right in front of you guys. Back what I was talking about. So when my car is in park, it does not show it's in park. Reverse, neutral, drive, 3, 2, 1, those all work, but park does not. However, if you have it on, like not like, you know, on all the way, like just like the accessory on, it will show park. So I'm pretty sure that one of the wires is actually shorting it out, because the neutral safety switch on the other ones, the older ones, look like this, kind of like this, with another connector for like the transmission range. So let's see, does this one have it? Let's see. But it does have that connector, and it's actually right there. Actually, maybe just take. Oh, actually, maybe just take it off this one. All right. So, I want to thank you for your sacrifice of the wheel hubs, but I found something else. All right, I'm gonna grab the O2 sensor real quick. Give me a couple minutes. Is that an intercooler right there? I don't know what that is. But after pushing this hood back, getting in here with a hammer, I got it free. They stole my tool from Atlanta as well. Show you guys something real quick. $26.99 out of them arms. Oh my god, it's missing. Wait, what? The whole arm is missing. that's yeah, okay. And then what about? All right, that one still got some life on it. Okay, I don't know. I guess you can drive these without them arms. So I guess if they fall off, I guess you're fine. It's just gonna go. Whoa. I gotta imagine I still got the straight bumping in here. Oh yeah, well before I forget, I'm actually gonna check this out right now while I wait for everything to cool down on the car. Hopefully I'll burn myself on the transmission. But you can see I have every single gear selector on here. But the second I put into park, there's no park. You got reverse, there's no park. However, if I turn it off, park is back. I turn it on, it's gone. It starts up and drives fine, no problem. But the problem is, watch this. You see how it's in park now? I can actually do seat adjustments, no problem. But with the second it's on, because park isn't selected, they don't work. So you gotta figure that out. And I'll be honest, these buttons here, I genuinely don't care. I'm actually probably gonna swap these seats out for the non-powered ones, because I'm actually planning on putting the amplifiers underneath the seats, so that way it could be a little bit cleaner back there, because I do have them like right below where like the floor would be for the back seats, which is a perfect spot for them. But if I can get them underneath the seat and make it a lot cleaner, I'm going to do it. So that way it's just a subwoofer box back there. I like to have my amplifiers hidden and out of the way, so that way I ain't got to worry about them. It does have a little bit of flaws here and there, but that's the best spot in my opinion. So the benefits of owning 2 iPhones. All right, well, the strange news is the park light came back. Bad news is this got stuck. Geez. Okay, I guess we got one thing covered. But now I'm curious to know. Let me see if I can bypass the switch real quick. I did the bypass switch. Yeah. It's just, I don't know if something shorted out or maybe I have to clean some connector. All right, so this is a really strange one. So I found out that it was actually that one pin. I'm getting close to what it is because now the park light's gone, but now I can shift it, no problem. So I have a feeling maybe it's on the wrong pin, even though it's supposed to be like on the position pin, but I don't know, maybe something related to that. Not sure what, but let's keep digging. A rainstorm coming in. You got some time though. So I went ahead and got the new connector plugged in here. For anybody who is in the same spot as I am with this is what the pinouts look like. I don't know if you guys can, you know, see. I did my best here. I'm not going to solder them just yet. I'm just going to tape them up and then try it out here. Here's the pinouts for anybody wondering. They're kind of hard to find, but they're very, very similar. I ended up having to use the same colors and pins from this one here to match them up with that. So that way I can plug in this O2 sensor here. So I'm gonna go and get the old one out. I'm gonna put the new one in and let's see if this works. All right, so here we have both the sensors here. So this is the connectors I'm talking about here. This is the one for the 04 and up. This is 03 and below. So looking at here, this is gonna be the ohmage test here. Hopefully I can get them right. I think it's the ones on the left. Yeah, you see you got 9 ohms right there. See, now we got 3 ohms. So there's definitely a difference between the two of them. Now, typically, these two sensors are still good. I'm not sure if maybe that it's ohmage sensitive between the two or what the major difference between them. All I know is they're both O2 sensors and, you know, they're just ones of different connectors. And they have to have a different connector for some kind of reason. That's the only reason I can really think of. So, and of course, that ohmage is for the heater core. So it has to be some kind of difference between them, and there has to be a reason why it's not working. And since this is a lower resistance, it should be working a little bit harder. So it shouldn't have like any excuse on why the heater core isn't working. I think the ohmage on this one is too high, so it's like fluctuating a little too much. And this one's a little bit lower, so it's a little bit more stable. I might be wrong, but we're gonna find out in just a moment here. All right, so I got it running on the sensor here. I got them taped up and spliced together for right now. I will be coming back to solder those and fixing it up, of course, and putting fresh heat shrink in the little tubing thing, like whatever this is. I forget what it's called. I'm just gonna make sure it runs perfectly good right now. So far it's running, but I'm gonna make sure those wires are good, because if it's throwing a lean code, that means I mix up the hot and low wires, or high and low wires, and then gonna make sure the heater core on it is also working as well. So I gotta clear the codes and then we'll go for a drive. All right, so I'm going here and just gonna erase the codes. Now let's go for a drive. While I'm here, let's check out the live data, make sure it's reading properly. Probably should have checked which one so I'm not scrolling, but yeah, they both look, actually they're a little higher now. So, okay. It's probably because the car is still warming up, but hey, you know what? That's actually pretty good so far. Let's go for a drive, see what happens. I'm just noticing that. Look how flat that is. I never seen it that flat before. It's kind of crazy that the second O2 sensor got affected by the first one being replaced. Now, whenever you swap your O2 sensor, if you have 2 or 3, you're always wanting to swap both of them at the same time. They have to be matching. However, in this case, the bottom one is just a snitch to tell you if your catalytic converter is bad, so it's not really like that big of a deal. And also, it's still a new sensor anyway, versus me putting in a old one that was obviously used. So anyway, I'm gonna go drive a little bit longer and see where we go. Also, I can't thank God for having it rain right now rather than at the junkyard. Perfect timing, I will say. Speaking of the ohmage, I'm actually really thinking about it as if it was like a sound system, really, because you know I got 2 SCAR 18s back there. They're both dual 4 ohm. I do know if you run them at 8 ohms, the amplifier isn't going to be able to provide enough power to it in order for it to run properly. However, if you lower the ohmage, it's going to be using a lot more power. So what I'm thinking is that because the ohmage on the other O2 sensor was so high that the power supply couldn't provide enough power for it to meet its expectations, and you know, I don't know, I guess it detects the voltage or whatever in a way, because I don't think there's like a temperature sensor in it. And when it sees that it can't provide enough power to it, oh, actually I should go this way. Since it can't provide enough power to it, it's gonna detect that there's obviously a fault because it's not getting enough power. Now that we lower the ohmage, it's definitely going to be getting a lot more power. Things are going to get a little bit more warmer and toasty, but you know what? If that's what the car requires, why not? As long as it's not 0 ohms, because that would be bad. The thing I just realized too is now that I'm driving, the car's not like stalling out or like acting strange. What I've noticed with it for the longest is whenever, like, if I'm sitting at a red light for a while and I hit the gas, it would sometimes want to stall out. Now I just got here at the stoplight and it's running fine. Yeah, it's actually doing pretty good. Man, that's crazy. You're telling me this entire time it was caused because the wrong O2 sensor was in it. There's a reason why I share these stories, man. There's people out there that are in the same boat as I am, and if I can share my part of the story, hopefully it'll pass on and help other people out with the same problem that I am. Even though I may be over at my head sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you gotta think of all the other possibilities, do as much research as you can. Dude, look at this. That is clean. This one usually will like kind of spike a little bit, but that's how it's supposed to be. The bottom one is supposed to be flat as possible, and this one's supposed to be a really clean graph, and it is doing wonders. That is, wow, I'm impressed with it so far. I swear, if I go home and just throw some like code about like, oh yeah, there's some efficiency issue going on, then I don't know. That's to be beyond me, man. Popped in a neutral real quick. I'm at a red light. I'm gonna check the codes real quick here and see if there's anything it's saying here. Wait, that's a quick. There we go. Oh my God. Are you serious? Ready for emissions. It was the fucking wrong sensor this entire time. I'm taking a screenshot of that. Is freaking awesome. So I genuinely don't know what happened. I just ended up getting stuck in traffic. I don't know. These cars came out of nowhere. No check engine light. The car's running smooth, and it's still saying it's passing emissions. I think we finally fixed it. Man, I'm sitting here driving. I was thinking about the ohmages and everything on here. I'm sorry, guys. I should have went to the junkyard and tested every single O2 sensor from like every freaking Trailblazer that I could find there. I'm sorry I did that to y'all. I should have. Okay, now Skrillex is blasting my ears off now. What the fuck? All right, I just got home right now. Got the MechaBlazer here in the back. I'm gonna go solder up that wire. I'm probably getting off this video right here. This is the stuff, like, you know, you just gotta like never give up on, because it's always something with this car where, oh, she has her car parked in here. That's all good. So I don't know what it is. It's just like whenever you like get an issue with your car, whatever. Okay, let me revert it. You guys, too much be in my mind. It's fucking crazy. Whenever something goes wrong with the MechaBlazer, it's always something freaking simple. It's always the last thing you think of. It's like if that one video when it kept throwing itself in a limp mode, didn't explain it, but then I don't know what will, because that was one of many examples on what has been going on with this. It's always the last thing you think of, and Google does not help 80% of the time with it. I have done so much research. Then schematics that I showed you guys earlier of the O2 sensor, I had to dig for those, and that wasn't even from the Trailblazer. That was from some Chevy Colorado. It just happened to have the same O2 sensor, so I got lucky and found one, and that was the actual one, because I don't know if maybe the wires are crossed on them. It's the same connected type, so I doubt it, but that's a prime example right there that, you know, sometimes I can't do any research, and I'm even in Facebook groups and some people don't even know what it is or what to do. Like, for example, the park light on the dash, it just doesn't work. And when it does work, I can't shift it. So I'm gonna have to, that's probably gonna be something for another day. It's really not that big of a necessary deal right now. Something I do want to definitely tackle at some point. Maybe if I get another neutral safety switch, maybe if I, get some more money from the junkyard, I will. And by the way, I did get the hubcaps on here, if you're all wondering. So I did buy those. But anyway, I'm gonna off this video, guys. I'm gonna go and solder on that connector and clean it up, and maybe I'll show you guys here once it's done. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all later. I'm out.